You were 13 weeks old today, with your birth date marked on our calendar for May. At 7 weeks, we saw your little heartbeat at our very first scan. We started to tell our family and friends of our newly made plans. You're our first baby that we were so excited to meet. Everything was meant to be sweet. Instead, we left our second scan broken, fresh tears streaming down our faces. The news of your departure, that you only grew so old, will stay deep in our hearts and buried within our souls.
No matter how long this baby is with you, they are a part of your whānau and they offer something and they changed the world and they had a place. And, you know, people have different spiritual understandings of why babies come to us for just a short time.
The second you discover you're pregnant, the moment you see that positive sign, you change your world to accommodate that baby. You make immediate life-changing decisions around this child. The second you discover it, your world changes. So it matters. It really matters when you lose it.
You feel connected with a baby. You feel one. You know, your whole whānau, a whole part of you at that moment when you know you're having a baby. So you get on the phone and then you ring your husband, say, "Hun, actually, this is what's happening. We're not having a baby anymore."
We don't actually entirely know how common miscarriages are, but the ones we do know about make up between about 15 and 24% of all pregnancies. So that's, you know, up to almost 1 in 4 pregnancies. But the reality is that actually there are probably more than that, and lots happen to women that didn't even know they were pregnant.
We're diagnosing pregnancy a lot earlier now than we used to. And also the age of pregnancy is shifting upwards a little bit in population, and so they're probably genuinely getting more common, but also being diagnosed more often.
Didn't know it could happen. I didn't know miscarriage was a thing, and I didn't know it was as common as it is. I just thought you just do the business, get the child, done. But it's a lot harder than that, eh?
We've had families tell us that because they were under that 12-week mark, there wasn't the support for them, there wasn't the memory-making service for them. They felt that they were really alone.
After my loss, many dear friends said that, you know what, I've gone through the same process. And then I thought, oh no, oh wow, all of us, we have been suffering in silence for something that, I mean, no, it won't reduce our pain, but at least we see that we're not alone.
Don't ever keep it to yourself, because that's when all the guilt trip, all the time in the world, and you start thinking and blaming yourself. And that's when things can get bad.
I think it's so easy that you can blame yourself, you know, especially if you've done one thing, or one thing you've kind of questioned that you've done that might have not been right. Like, you can easily blame yourself.
Until you've been through pregnancy loss yourself, it's probably quite hard to understand how hard it can be for some people. I mean, it's different for everyone.
Often women are confused about this intense feeling of loss for someone that they never met. So the important thing is being able to talk about it for them to be able to understand and make sense of their thoughts and feelings.
3年間本当にこんなに苦しいことあるかってずっと自分の中で3年間苦しかったけれど、でもそれを乗り越えたことによって全てのことが
もちろん赤ちゃんのこともだけど、人生は自分で変えられるっていうことも分かったし、自分自身の内側といかに向き合って、
Depending what culture you are, what ethnicity you are, what your religious or spiritual beliefs, miscarriage can mean very different things, not only to you, but also actually to the community and the family you come from.
We're a blended family, so this was the first one that we had that was ours. The children were devastated. They couldn't understand it. It was just a tangible idea. They knew I was pregnant, then all of a sudden I wasn't anymore. And they didn't have anything to see or to hold apart from a solitary ultrasound picture.
It doesn't matter how many children you've had or if it's your first, you know, once you do that test and you hear that you're pregnant or that you're having a baby, you automatically say to yourself that you're a parent.
If it was more normal, like it was just like, yeah, if you have a miscarriage, of course you should have a week off work or 2 days off work, or of course you should go and find someone to talk to about it. But if you kind of don't know what you're supposed to do or what you're supposed to be feeling or what's it okay to do, if you're like me, you just power through it and you just think, well, maybe I'm supposed to just take it.
To be in one of the worst times of your life when you're grieving and confused and no one really quite understands, and to feel as though you're a little bit left on your own with not a lot of support. It was just really horrendous. So my biggest hope is that we can start supporting people a little bit more when they go through experiences like this.